Rolling, rolling, rolling. From you see the blue hair, from you hear the voice, you know I'm here. Sounds of reality, and now you're locked in to the reality check-in. And today is probably one of my most special episodes because I'm here with, I call him Mr. Woodstack. Others may know him as Andy, but Andy, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
You know, just squeezing me in your schedule.
Oh, come on. There's always time. Always time.
I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely.
Well, Andy, I want you to give them an intro of who you are. Like, I like people to give their own intros. I want you to tell them who's Andy.
Andy is in a new chapter of his life right now. Spent one chapter of my life, professional life, at a brand that probably the greatest boot brand on the planet. I left an incredible legacy there, built some incredible partnerships that will continue to grow and breed to other wonderful things at that brand. But Andy, and I love talking about me in the third person. So Andy is a person who is looking to create things now and create not only product, but moments, experiences, and Woodstack is a wonderful place for that right now.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love you guys. You guys embrace me. You embrace me.
We love you guys.
Yeah,
we
I
love
love
you. You're wonderful. You're actually someone who helps us create the moment. So I'm not saying until when you get there and when you turn on, the music, the mood changes, the vibe changes. Yes, actually.
The vibe is there.
Absolutely.
So, Andy, when you come to the reality check-in, we speak about the most important thing to all of us in here, and that's sneakers. Can you tell me what's your favorite sneaker in your childhood growing up?
Yes. So I grew up in Canada, in Montreal, and I remember vividly wearing or going to buy, that's my first sneaker that I remember. It was an Adidas Rome. That was my first sneaker, and I really thought that would help me run faster, and it failed me.
No?
It failed. No. I would say my favorite sneaker right now. These are really nice. These are good. Nikes are great. I do. I live in Nikes now. I also love Asics.
They're comfy.
They're very comfy. 14s.
Yeah.
Those are my shoes.
They're comfy.
Yes.
They're comfy. You know what's funny? Bringing up Nike, I feel like the most memorable sneaker stories are always a Nike shoe. So you were the first person to say Adidas, honestly. Can you give me any memorable Nike stories that you had? Purchasing any? Or getting gifted any? CD for any?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually. So the person who I got a pair of Nikes from is not here anymore. Virgil sent me a pair of Nikes.
Yeah?
And I will not wear them. I just will not wear them. They're there. And I remember sending him a note, and he was working on the Blazers. And I said to him, and anybody can go and check my texts out, this is a fact. I said, these actually look so good that I actually like Nike again. So he sent me a pair of those. So
did he write on them for you?
No, I told him don't do anything.
Just send it to me
that. So I can wear them, because I didn't realize at the time.
Yeah.
I wish he did, but he was a special person to me and a special person to the Timberland brand, and obviously he helped reimagine what Nike is to so many people.
Right.
That's one shoe
that's your memorable story of a Nike shoe. I love that. I feel like a lot of people don't have those moments where the creator itself sends you the shoe.
Yes.
You have to be lucky to get those type of moments.
You gotta be lucky.
And you're lucky.
Yeah.
So, What makes like a classic sneaker to you? Is it the color, the silhouette, the story behind it, the material, the brand, the creative director? What you think, like, to me, this is what makes like a classic or memorable sneaker?
Well, memorable sneaker would be definitely the story behind it. Like, I'll give you an example. The pigeon dunk that Jeff Staple did, right? So that is a true New York icon. It's actually a sneaker icon. It's a cultural icon that has a story that will be told for forever. To me, like, a sneaker needs to really feel good and be supportive and be something that I could use for living, for running.
Right.
Yeah, it's got to perform.
You're the perform guy. You're the first person that said perform. Like, I needed to.
It's got to perform.
It needs to go in my everyday life.
It's got to, yes.
That's why you like Asics right now. You like these Nike. It performs well.
It's got to perform well. Even though you might not need it to perform well, it should be performing well.
Yeah, it should be.
It should be ready.
There are some sneakers that legit hurt your feet. Like, if it's too much pressure right here.
Yes.
It's too tight back here.
There are.
Blisters.
We won't name those.
We won't.
No. We don't need to.
But we know there are some.
There are a lot. There are many.
But you mentioned one of the best, not even one of, the best boot brand. 3-year tenure at Timberland. What would you say would be the most impactful project that you were a part of? I know you were part of the majority, the highest moments. But what was, like, to you, the most impactful?
So I would say working with Virgil was really incredible. He helped me. He helped the brand reimagine where the brand could be, where the brand could be positioned in the marketplace. He was also about, being an everyday person and really helping Timberland understand, what the opportunities were to build something special and position it at a way where, I remember when we were working on the velvet boot that we did with him, and
those were actually like a pop.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Those
were done in a few great colors. Actually, there was a great wheat colorway, and so we were talking about the material, and we said, look, where do you think we should price these? We asked him, and he said, I think these should be priced at around $750. We're like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. We never sold boots at $750, and he said, you will now.
Oh, wow.
And so that was the thing that I think he instilled confidence in us at the time where we really needed it. We needed that confidence boost. And he didn't just help us produce things that were, build up a boot. He helped us internally too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He was that impactful to just like, it just sounds like everyone that Virgil have met and worked with, it sounds like he has impacted them in just more than just the work that they've done, like just on a friendship vibe, but he's just been that impactful. Would you say the same? Oh,
absolutely. I mean, not only somebody like Virgil, but a real true collaboration between, two brands really allows you the opportunity to push the limits, right? And the projects that I worked on really helped the brand that I worked with push the limits, reimagine the limits, whether we had to remake patterns, whether we had to work on different materials, creating a red for Pharrell that we didn't make at the time.
Right.
We had to rethink red.
Right.
Go figure, right? But if Pharrell wants red, you should be making red.
Right. But that's dope. Virgil was your most impactful. Do you have one that is just pure fun. Like, it was just pure, like, this was just a cool project from start to finish, from the production level to the release of it. It was just pure fun.
I would say the ones that were most fun were the one that was the project that was most fun wasn't specifically a collaboration that I did or that Timberland worked on. It was actually a project called Construct 161. So that actually took place in Dominican Republic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they flew a group. Actually, it was led by Daniel Bailey, Mr. Bailey, Jeff Staple, shoe surgeon was there, Dominic. If I forget anybody who was there, don't kill me. But it was actually the most fun. We were sent to our factory, or the Timberland factory in Dominican Republic, and we basically worked on a project where it was a brief, basically, and you were able to build boots against that brief, and we were able to create new patterns, new materials, but we were there for 5 days working on this project. It was amazing, and it was built in the factory that Timberlands were made. So we worked alongside the people that were making the product, and worked alongside people like Dominic and Jeff Staple, and people who are now at Vibram, Jay Steery, some great people, and Mr. Bailey, and really reimagining what footwear, how you can remake footwear, reimagining footwear. That was, I would say, one of the most fun times that I had at Timberland.
I love that. I didn't know you guys had factories in DR. That's amazing.
Yeah, there were factories. I don't know if there's a factory in DR now. I believe there still is. Actually, way back in the day, Timberland made product in Puerto Rico as well, which is considered USA.
Yeah.
So that's where some of the product was made, and with the ability to be stamped and made in the USA.
No,
too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, now I get that. Okay, I love that. So the Timberland boot is a staple piece in like hip hop, right? What were like the conversations that the brand had like during the 90s? Because you see the fit today. I wore a North Face outfit, a Yankee hat, and some Timbs. These are like pieces that, and brands that the 90s were, and the hip hop culture were just like throwing at everyone. What were like the conversations, like around that time?
In the 90s at Timberland.
Yeah.
So, so there, I would say the conversations were, I wish there were more conversations, to be very honest with you. I think that would have been, when I say conversations, there were conversations that Timberland had within itself, and then there were conversations that were had out in the marketplace, right? Like, for example, hip hop culture, right? Was the best conversation that existed back then for Timberland. I would say without that in the 90s, and without the Italian fashion culture, Timberland wouldn't be what it is right now. Those two cultures have had a profound effect on the brand. Yeah, absolutely. Without those cultures celebrating the brand, wearing the brand the way those cultures do, Timberland would not be what it is right now.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I love that you're giving flowers to hip hop in that light, because a lot of brands don't give credit enough to the artists and the genre of music for their brand being so big, and the fact that you're giving it flowers. Like we really appreciate it as a hip hop DJ.
I spent almost 3 years of my life working the floor at the Timberland store when Timberland had a store on Madison Avenue and 63rd Street. And the customers that I served there were people like Jerry Seinfeld, Q-Tip, Robin Williams. That's where I met Fat Joe and Big Pun. We were, you know, I actually put them in a dressing room because they just wanted to be by themselves and try things on. But I actually asked, I got a chance to ask people like Q-Tip why Timberland? Why do you like this product? Absolutely. And because again, storytelling is very important, right? Storytelling is crucial no matter what business you're in. And you know, for Timberland at the time, we were storytellers on the sales floor. You know, you were selling product, but you also wanted to make sure that the customer left with the true story of the brand. That's why I think retail misses that right now. It's very important to engage with the consumer. The story's being told online right now, on social, you know, on your phone, on social. But when you're being told the story by the person, you know, a vehicle of the brand, you know, somebody who's actually, you know, there to help tell the story, who heard it from the person who started the company, it's very important. So, you know, people like Q-Tip, for example, you know, talked about the material that, you know, he felt on the 40 Below, the super boot, and that's why he bought it. It was different. It was, he felt like it was bubbly, you know, it had texture, and it felt like it was like a super boot, that it could do anything and keep you dry and keep you warm, and all those things are true, you know. But it's great to hear once you tell the story and then hear it back from the consumer why it means so much to them. I mean, another person who I asked why Timberland was DMX. Like, why do you like Timberland? And he
was a Timberland.
And he absolutely, he wasn't even somebody who would tell me, you know, he didn't just tell me to my face, he held me and said, like, that's all I wear. Like, you need to understand, I'm not me without Timberland.
Some Timbs on?
Yes.
What was it though?
Because, you know, it's shoes, clothing, accessories. If people have certain things that mean certain things to them, like when you put on a pair of Timberlands, for example, in this instance, you feel different. You just feel different.
You walk different.
I feel taller. That's number one. Right. You know, that's definitely a fact. I am taller with Timberlands on, but you feel different. You feel like you're grounded. There's something there, and you feel similar feelings with sneakers. But somebody like DMX, you know, wore them because he performed in them. He had to live in them. He made a living by performing in them. I mean, they're synonymous. I mean, you can't not see him wearing anything else. And
like thinking back now, I think that was his staple item.
Absolutely.
Some Timbs.
Yeah.
Some baggy jeans.
Yes.
A Rough Riders jersey. Some dogs.
Yes.
A bandana, some bikes. It was just the same. You know, it was very him, on brand for him.
Very.
I like that though. And you've been there for 30 years, right?
I was there for 30 years.
And what was your biggest takeaway, like, at the end of those 30 years?
The biggest takeaway was the impact that somebody like myself could make there. It wasn't because I did it myself. there was always a group of people who I was working with who basically felt the same way as I did. You know, we were fortunate to have been there at a specific time, working with specific people, and we changed the way people saw the brand. Yeah, and I miss the people, I miss those opportunities, but just very fortunate that, you know, myself and the people that I worked with were able to leave a legacy there.
Right.
That's gonna live forever.
Forever. So you transitioned and
yes,
you came over to the home team now.
Yes.
Here at Woodstack.
Retail.
Yeah.
Retail.
You're back at retail. Back at retail.
You're right.
But this is where you said you learned stories from this type of environment.
Yeah.
Working now at Woodstack, you guys are working more with community. Can you tell me something about, like, how do you feel about the community-based activations that you've been a part of?
Absolutely. So when I came over here to Woodstack, I thought I knew community from
just working with
brands
different teams,
with different. Well, Timberland knew community too, but it was different.
Yeah.
I learned truly about community and how important serving your community is, and that it is an ongoing, it needs to be ongoing, and it needs to be consistent, and it needs to be authentic, and it needs to be passionate and truthful. And I think Woodstack has done an incredible job doing it. It was here when I got here.
Right.
We're enhancing it now.
Yeah.
And allowing more people to be brought in and brands to experience community with us. But I think that Woodstack does community like no other.
When I first tapped in with, beyond going to Woodstack to shop, when I first tapped in with you guys now on this level, it was for a community event. It was for a sneaker fiend event where it was just tailored to women in sneakers.
Right.
Which isn't brought to light enough. And you guys were the first person I, encountered that brought it to light. And then the second event that I got to work on with you guys was a West Indian parade event. And people don't really shed too much light on West Indian culture, but for a sneaker store to do that, it was just like, oh, they really do support the community, the culture in New York City as a whole. Like, I really do appreciate what you guys do for the sneaker community, but just also the community in New York City itself.
Those types of events, I mean, you mentioned the Sneaker Fiend event. Women are predominantly the biggest shoppers at retail. They make most of the decisions at retail. Yeah. They even affect men shopping at retail. We need to acknowledge that power, right? That kind of decision-making power. We do it at our store at Ivy, and then we do it also at our other stores too that carry women's product. We need to do more celebrating of women. We do, we have a book club that we hold there as well.
Is it every Sunday?
No, it's not every Sunday. It's we do it almost monthly right now.
Okay.
But again, it's celebrating women within our own space made for women, which is important. Whether we have a store like Ivy or whether we have a section like we do in Flatbush dedicated to women.
Here we play a game called Flex, Next, Checks.
Yes.
Flex is if you're going to wear it.
Yep.
Next if it's no.
Right.
And checks if you're going to resell the sneaker.
Right.
So we tailor each game for the person that's sitting with me. So today is really for Andy and Andy's eyes only.
Right.
So let's see what Andy chooses. Let's see how this game goes.
Okay.
'Cause I purposely put certain things for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's do it.
Good.
Let me see. Okay, this is funny. This is the
Mischief right.
Timberlands. These are coming out soon or came out already? Tell me how you feel about these. Flex, necks, checks.
Well, I couldn't flex because I wouldn't, because there's only the person I saw flexing was Spike Lee at the game. So
yeah, I saw that.
Spike wore these for those guys for Mischief. I would do necks for those.
Necks? I would probably do a checks.
Or check. What checks is?
Checks is resale.
Oh no, I'm chexing. I'm chexing.
You want some money?
No. Guys in Mischief, I'm not nexting with this. No. I'm chexing.
We're getting some checks up for that. So we both said checks.
Yeah.
Let's see the next one. Okay, the Reebok pumps. This is more your era.
Yeah.
I don't think I was born or probably early ages. How do you feel about this? Can you tell me any story about this? Would you flex next checks these?
So, again, I think Reebok did, and I remember this vividly, they did such a great job because, like, one of the things that you want to do as a shoe manufacturer is get people to go over to the shoe, right? To touch the shoe. And for Reebok to have come up with a pump that people want to touch the shoe, want to engage, and actually the pump worked, it goes to what I said earlier about like shoe being comfortable, performing
well. Right?
That changed the game for a lot of things. So I think for some people maybe next would be it, but for me, I haven't had those in a long time, so I would want to maybe flex.
I will flex those. I don't think I see anybody else out with those, and I love to have an item on that no one has. Like, I just love the bragging rights.
Yeah.
So that's a flex for me.
That's a flex.
That's a flex. Let's see what we got next. Okay, I tried to get these. I don't understand what happened, but these are the A. Cole wore Nike Airs, the Varsity Royals.
Right.
These, to me, are just beautiful. I love anything blue, but these is like these are beautiful. How you feel about these?
They are. They're beautiful. Cole Wall is a great brand. Nike, another wonderful brand, and the Royal is nice. But I would have to. It's not me, so I would maybe next it.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry, Samuel. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You know?
I don't either flex or check these. I'll probably check them because I know they're in the high market, but I really want these. Like, I really want these. I'll be surprised with them still sometimes. I really want these. So anybody at Nike, if you know, like, just call me, call Andy, say I have it for reality, please.
And I'll...
Yeah, I need those. I need those. Okay, this is an era now. This is a New York era. How long have you been in New York for? I know you grew up in Montreal.
So I am in New York since, about 35.
35 years.
No, it's, about 35 years.
Yeah? Okay, so you was around when these hit the streets.
Yeah.
The Patrick Ewings. When these became a New York shoe, can you tell me how it felt out here? Can you tell me what would you even do? Flex next, check these. Like, this is a time that I wouldn't be able to, live because I was just too young. But they did come back when I got a little older. But I don't think it felt the same because we didn't appreciate it. I guess at that time it was just like, he was already out the league.
Yeah. So that really was part of a time where it was early in my sales career at Timberland, and again, that's kind of when there was just a different feeling about basketball. It was gritty, and I'm not, my son would kill me if I say I'm not a basketball fan.
You're not?
I like basketball.
But
I'm a hockey fan.
Oh, okay. Are you a Rangers fan?
Oh yeah, today I'm a Rangers fan. The Rangers are the best team in the league right now. They're the best team. I'm a Canadiens fan. But for today, and I'm living in New York, Rangers are
all the way.
Rangers are going to be great this year. Yeah, they're going to go. I think they'll go far.
Tell me how you feel like flex next.
So I would say it's probably a checks But I think, again, this shoe stood for a certain time in New York. And I think this is a great storytelling shoe period for people to celebrate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would definitely I will flex them, but I wouldn't put them on my feet. The same way you feel about your Virgils, and you just keep them in the box.
Yes, and never,
the same thing.
Don't touch them.
Don't touch them.
Don't touch them.
Just keep these.
Keep them.
Keep them.
Yes.
Let me see what we got next. Your guy.
There he is.
Speaking of him, the off-white Virgil Converse collab.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. These was beautiful. Mm-hmm. These was beautiful.
Right. Yeah. No. This is a checks. You know, I don't know. The other thing is that they're special, but they're so special that I just can't see myself wearing them.
I think when it comes to shoes like this, that are moments, just collect them. Collect them. Just collect them.
Yes.
Let them collect dust in your house. Just collect them.
That's right.
Put them in a glass case or something. Just collect them.
Yes.
I'll collect those.
Yep.
So I'll flex those. Okay. The Reebok with the Shacks now.
Yeah.
How do you? This is your era as well.
Again, yeah, definitely my era.
Can you tell me a story about this era?
Well, I can tell you, that Reebok basketball was a thing back then, right? So, and Reebok basketball is not a thing right now.
Yeah.
So I would say again, it was a time where people would, this helped tell a specific time for people back then, and bringing people who wanted shoes like that into a brand that never made basketball shoes before, right?
Yeah.
So
I think I would definitely have to, I like the Shacknosis, but I would next them just because, to me, these look better on bigger feet.
Oh yeah.
Certain shoes look better on big feet.
Right.
These were one of those.
Oh no, I agree with you, because I would still, although they told a great story or still do, I would still next them, because they're just, they need to be right for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got next.
Oh.
Okay, these are some SB Dunks, some laboratories. I'm not a big fan of loud, but I wouldn't say these are next for me. I just couldn't do these. They're too loud for me.
Yeah. So these are shoes that, so again, like Dunks or SB Dunks. I actually have a pair that I got from Supreme years and years ago that were amazing and are still very, very comfortable because of what they are. So here's a shoe that I would expect to, they're going to be just as comfortable. There's that tongue.
You're a performance guy.
It's a performance guy, and that tongue on an SB Dunk is a very, very fluffy, cushiony tongue. And, again, Futura is someone who tells an incredible story and has told an incredible story through time. And so it's a shoe that I would probably flex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do respect Futura's work, but I just think I'm just big on get a loud sneaker, but not too loud where it tones down my outfit. I'm an outfit girl, so once it just overpowers the fit, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got next. Oh, the Gazelles.
The Gazelle.
Gazelle. You said your first sneakers were the Adidas, the Rome.
Rome.
How do you feel about Gazelles? Would you flex next with Chexies, or did you even flex next with Chexies?
No, I didn't. But again, I grew up listening to Beastie Boys, so I would, although the Beastie Boys again are so incredible, and these represent a certain time, I would probably next them. You
don't like how they perform?
No, it's like physically.
Yeah. Not for you?
Not for me.
I would have to, I would next those as well. I'm more of a superstar. Kind of Adidas girl. It's real superstar.
Yeah. I'm a Rod Laver.
Yeah.
Like Rod Lavers are my everyday shoe. Yeah, that's another everyday shoe.
They're comfy. I have to try
it's like
those.
wearing Common Projects or, you know, like that's what it kind of looks like.
I'll try those on.
Yeah.
Okay, you said you liked performance. You said you like this brand, the Kith Asics. How do you feel about these?
I love them. Listen, I'd flex.
Same.
There's, again, no one who does product like Kith, right? Ronnie and his team do an incredible job. They did incredible work with me at Timberland. And I think they did a great job here. This is definitely a flex.
I agree. Just speaking of like Ronnie, I found out about Asics through any collab he did. I remember this was probably like, I want to say like between 2010 and 2014, where he was doing collabs with Saucony and they were doing collabs with like the Asics, but it wasn't that model. I forget the exact name of the model, but they brought light to their shoe for me. It was just a cultural moment on like the Tumblr era, the Soho era, when people was hanging out outside.
Right.
They had brought like light to it. So anything I feel like they do retouch or create with that same brand, I feel like it's always just, I don't know, it just always feels good, looks good. It brings light back to the brand, even if it didn't lose it. I just feel like it just brings it back right to the brand.
I can't agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you worked with Ronnie before?
With Timberland? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. In fact, Ronnie's first collaboration.
Wait, serious?
Was with Timberland.
And you were a part of that?
Yes.
Andy has stories to tell,
yes,
man.
Always.
Andy has stories to tell.
Yeah. They're great. Yeah. Great stories, great people.
Okay, can you tell me about these, Andy, the OVO Timberlands? Can you tell me, were you a part of this?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, I need to know. I need to know.
Yeah. So, again, when I mentioned earlier that, again, and I like how you say, were you a part of this, right? It's not like, was this yours? This wasn't mine. This was a group project that took place both in New York and Toronto. We had somebody, Josh is still working there at Timberland and is connected to that OVO team over there. Look, those guys were very passionate about creating something that would withstand the temperatures in Canada, right? So it was was that a fully lined boot? I don't even know if it was a fully lined. The tongue was lined, but it was a Gore-Tex lined boot, if I'm not mistaken. It was one of the first ones. Josh will probably kill me for mixing that up, but the point is no, it is Gore-Tex because I could see there's a label on the side of the boot, perhaps, yeah. But that was important. Again, it was performance, and those guys are also about details. Like every detail needs to be right, and sometimes it's like art, right? Some projects take longer than others.
Okay.
And I would say the projects that OVO worked on with Timberland took a very long time.
Yeah?
Yes.
More than like Virgil?
Yes. Well, Virgil knew the process. Virgil knew that there had to be things that needed to be accomplished by a certain period of time, and that was done. A lot of partners, and we had a great team making sure that we were hitting certain milestones. And the more times you want to change certain things, if you want to change a lace or change what the eyelets look like or change a hang tag and want to see what the end result is going to look like, it's going to affect the delivery date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So when it all boils down to it, would you flex, Next, or checks these?
They're Timberlands and they're OVOs. And, you know, those brands are also so important to each other. I would flex.
I would flex as well, just because I want to say this is OVO's first collab with a brand. I do want to say that.
Yeah.
But just looking at the Gore-Tex, the lining, like these is, I love Tim, so that I'll flex those.
Yes.
I'll flex those. But that was the game. I appreciate you for playing.
Love the game. I love the game. Love the game.
But I always ask this question for everyone that's, you know, checks in with me.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up? What should I be expecting? What should people just like tap in with you about? Let me know.
So again, I had said earlier that we're looking to create things. So one of the things that I'm here for was to create a brand for Woodstack. So we're in the beginning stages of that right now. A brand called Only One, and I'm actually wearing it right now, right? And this is the logo, and there's a lot more to come. It's currently at Woodstack stores and woodstack.com, and then onlyoneUSA.com, and there's great things coming along the way, and that's one thing. And I think also there might actually be footwear eventually there, because I love footwear.
Yeah.
Accessories are very important. Hats. Yeah. All of those things. Right. All part of lifestyle living. Also, you know, continuing to engage with community, right? Doing it differently. We also have a new store opening up in Harlem towards the end of the year. And how are we going to do community up there? How is it going to be different than we do community here? Or how can we enhance it and really learn? We're about learning. We're not about telling. So we're going to learn from the community up there what they're all about and how Woodstack can come together with them and enjoy each other's community.
I think to boil this down, you joined Woodstack, and I can definitely say you enhanced the team community-wise, creative direction-wise. Like, again, I'm sitting here telling you we appreciate you. Is there anywhere people can read about you? Because people do like to tap in more. They can follow you on anything. I don't know if you want to be found on Instagram. You can follow the page Woodstack NY, Woodstack Ivy. Make sure you follow those. But I don't want, you know.
I have no problem with that. You know, listen, I'm you check me out on LinkedIn. But I'm on to Instagram, and we can you know, we can share that link. Whoever wants to, it's me. It's who I am. Needs a little bit of updating, but you'll get a sense of who I am through that. And also, you know, if you go back, there's a link that's on my LinkedIn. Jeff Staple had named me number 43 in a complex article. Yeah, so 43rd person, most important person in the sneaker industry. So back then, so I'm on a list with like, I think,
Snapshot in right
like
here.
Michael Jordan. I think who else is on there? Well, Ronnie's certainly on there for sure. Phil Knight. I mean, these are like people that are beyond amazing people, and for me to be on that list,
Number 43.
is just incredible.
I sat with the 43rd, Mr. 43, Andy.
But it's like, you know, I was there because I wanted to make a difference at the brand I was at, and that's what I would say to people listening. You know, don't try to conform. Try and make a difference where you are, and work alongside people you enjoy working with, and get to work in person more. And I don't want to say enough with the work from home. It's nice, but getting to work with people and product and process has been very very exciting and rewarding for me and for the team that I work with.
Yeah. You locked into the reality check-in. You sat with myself like always. You got to hear Andy's story, what Andy's all about, what he's done over the years. And just make sure you lock in for the next episode, which will be the season finale. Andy, again, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Peace.